Hi guys, did you know that you have to charge your SIM card separately from your phone? There are even special chargers. Come on, just kidding. This is another video about inserting objects into the socket that are not intended for that purpose. Let me immediately remind you that this is unsafe and should never be repeated. It is much more interesting and safer to watch our video and click the like button below this video. And we, equipped with personal protection and firefighting equipment, will charge you with positive vibes. Let's go. Let's start with the already mentioned SIM card. We thought, what would happen if you put a SIM card in a socket and try to charge it? Where do ideas like this come from? Oddly enough, the SIM card is not supposed to be stuck anywhere but in a smartphone. But has that ever stopped us? Let's solder copper wires and connect a plug to them. As a result of such modification, SIM card can be charged. Now, let's connect all this stuff to 220 volts. Wow, so much bang that it blew the circuit breaker in the switchboard and left the studio without lights. Yes, the subscriber is temporarily unavailable. On the SIM card, you can see a trace where the current passed, and around this place melted plastic. I think it is pointless to check it for functionality now. Now let's plug the light bulb into the socket. What's so interesting? You'll say, and it is true, if you plug in an ordinary light bulb, then nothing. It glows. We will try to connect 220 volts to this car bulb, which is only designed for 12 volts. One of the crocodile clips is attached to the base, and the second one touches the contact located at the bottom. As expected, the bulb burned out, and how epic it is to see this moment in slow-mo. You can see pieces of red-hot metal flying in all directions. There's a reason we took 2 of these. Let's try again. The slow-mo shots are amazing. This time the flash was so bright it even blinded the cameraman for a few seconds. Let's see the extent of the damage. Here you can see a piece of melted metal. Some of it even stuck to the base. You can see soot on the glass. And the electrodes inside the lamp are also melted. Also, the crocodile clip burned a hole at the contact point. You can only imagine the temperature there. In general, use the bulbs for their intended purpose. YouTube statistics show that our videos are watched by girls, so it will be useful for them to know if flowers conduct electricity. And that's how you really lived without this information. One of them is attached to the stem, and the other is used to drive the flower. As you can see, the petals do not conduct any current at all. Let's try to touch the flower closer to where the first contact is attached. Oh, this is where the fun begins. There is a spark between the stem of the flower and the terminal, and the closer the contacts are, the more spectacular it is. There is a lot of moisture in the stem of the rose, which allows it to conduct electricity quite well. Let's try the same experience with a leaf. It also conducts electricity, but worse. But with the petals, it will not work at all. This is due to the fact that they have very little water. Also today, we will try to connect the long-suffering Nokia 3310 to a 220-volt network. We already know what happened to the SIM card. But what will happen to the phone? The trick is that charging the phone lowers the voltage from 220 volts to 5.7 volts, and the phone charges at the lower voltage. We have radically solved this misunderstanding. by grafting a regular plug onto the charger. As we can see, the voltage of 220 volts is not very useful for the phone. It starts to hurt. A strange black rash appears on the body, and for some reason, it stops turning on. Let's move on and see how the jelly reacts to the current from the socket. As it turns out, it's not easy to get it out of the jar, so keep this handy hack in your piggy bank. The jelly can easily be blown out of the jar. Let's insert the contacts. Ha! We have something that looks like a jelly bunny. Connecting. Wow! The electrode literally pops out of the jelly. Well, let's try it another way. It's even more interesting this way. The jelly melts under the crocodile clip, and the molten liquid immediately boils and squirts. We've already melted something like a cup. Oh man, it bursts and spills all over the table. Okay, let's stop. Instead, let's see what happens to gunpowder at 220 volts. Here's a little spoiler. Gunpowder is dry and does not conduct electricity, and if you get it wet, it will never catch fire. So let's bury a small copper wire in it. It will be a conductor. Create a short circuit and a spark. All that's left is to find it with crocodiles. The wire immediately burned and managed to give a spark and ignite the gunpowder. Approximately on this principle work some varieties of the simplest electric igniters. The remains of the gunpowder have melted into such a funny pancake. We've been shooting for a long time. It's time for refreshment. What if we try electro-fried mushrooms? Has anyone tried pickled fried mushrooms? We take a larger mushroom and fix it in the clamp. We do the same with another mushroom. Done. Wow! When they touch each other, the mushrooms begin to fry intensely and squeaks. All this is accompanied by the emission of a large amount of smoke. If you dim the lights a bit, you can see the sparks that appear where the mushrooms touch. In just a few minutes, 2 little mushrooms smoke up the whole studio. Let's see how they fried. Yeah, that doesn't look very appetizing. I wouldn't try that, or I'll electrocute myself. Also, today we're going to try to get a 220-volt LED strip to work. Under normal conditions, it works with a 12-volt power source or through a power supply. We will connect the already proven scheme of a crocodile on each contact and turn it on. On the slow-mo, you can see that all diodes burned out at the same time. But some burned a little longer. Resistant. Each diode is slightly blackened. Let's have a closer look. This blackening is exactly where the high voltage broke through the PN junction of the semiconductor device. Guys, don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell below this video. That's all for now. Bye-bye.